Hey, what's up, guys? Before we start, I just wanted to let you know that everything that I used in this video will be in the description. And if you could like and subscribe if you like the video, that'll tell me to make more tutorials in the future. Maybe some like character model stuff or whatever you guys like. And if you want to have a recommendation, you can always join the Discord where I'm most active and put your inputs and participate in events and stuff in there. Anyways, onto the video. So first I'm going to extract my Super Saiyan Blue skill so that I get all the files in it along with my Super Saiyan Blue evolved. Right? So now we have our two folders, one for Super Saiyan Blue and one for Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. If you don't have 7-zip, I believe you can just extract it normally, but it is always recommended to use 7-zip. Alright, now that we have that out of the way, when we go into Super Saiyan Blue, there are two different folders. There is your skill folder, which has your effects, your animations, and all the stuff that makes it work. And then you have your jungle, which has your sound. So, first thing you want to do is you want to find your EAN and your camera. Alright? So this is the EAN and the camera. Want to open that up. Drag it into here. Boom. Super Saiyan Blue animation. Now, next thing we want to do is go to our other form that we're wanting to add. So Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. And we want to drag this EAN, right? This EAN into the other side. Boom. So we have Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan Blue Evolved over here. You want to right click, copy, and then you want to append. Append will add it underneath instead of replacing it. So now you have two animations. Now remember this number. This number will be important for later. I'm going to save it to the EAN of Super Saiyan Blue. You want to find your Super Saiyan Blue and save it. And then you want to do the same thing for your camera. Save it there. Now, I've heard that sometimes this can be really slow depending on how good your PC is. So what you can do is you can click on it, click delete, and then save, making a new one. For me, it's the same speed, so it doesn't really matter. But again, you can sort of play around with that and find what the fastest way is for you. All right, so now we have our two EANs, and we're going to go to the BAC file. Now you want to open that up with the BAC editor. And you'll see that typically there are 3 entries, 0, 3, and 4. Right? Now 0 is your actual like transformation. This is what makes you go Super Saiyan Blue or whatever the form is. And then your 3 and 4 are typically your D transformation entries. One for the air and one for the ground. Right? So, easiest way to find that out is what the EAN index is. So 1 is typically the air, and 0 is typically the ground. So what I'm going to do, right click on the entry, add a comment, and I'm just going to name it D transform ground. That way I just remember. And I'm going to do the same thing here, D transform air. Boom. So now we have our 2 D transformations, so remember that. And I'm going to name this one Super Saiyan Blue, just so we can get things organized. Now what we want to do is we want to go to our Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. And we want to open that one up in a separate one. As you can see, it's the same thing here, 0, 3, 4. So we know these are the D transformations, and this is the transformation. Now we don't need these transformations since they're already on here. So what we're going to do is right-click, copy, and now I'm going to do it this way, but you could really do it however you want. I'm going to unselect, hide, empty entries, and go to 1. Then when I click on 1, I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to paste entry. All right. So now all this stuff pops up, right? This is all like, oh my gosh, conflict, right? That doesn't matter. We want to keep it as it is because I'm going to be telling you what everything means anyways. So we're going to click replace, and now boom, entry 1. I'm going to name this Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. All right. So now we have our two things, right? Hooray, we did it. No, we didn't. This is where we need to add our effects and sound. Come in here. So before we continue with this, we're going to go back to our skills. Super Saiyan Blue. So I'm going to go to my EEPK for your first transformation, right? So this is the effects for Super Saiyan Blue and the IDs. If we go back to the BAC and go to the effects, we see the number here, right? All right, now we want to go to our form that we're adding. Editing Rebuta here. Just wanted to let y'all know that for your effects, you want to make sure that you set the skill ID use to no, or else your new effects will not be loaded in. Let's see, where is, here it is. So now we have our two EEPKs. So this is the simple part. All you have to do is click on the top one, hold shift, and click on the bottom one, selecting everything. Now you right click, copy. Now you want to go to your last ID number, click on the top part, and click paste. And this thing will come up. These are your effect IDs from the form you're adding. Now we need to change the ID numbers so that it doesn't clash with the ones we already have. So I'm just gonna, let's say add 5. Right, so now we have 5, 6, 7. Boom. So these are the IDs for Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. 5, 6, 7. We're going to save as, go to your skill, boom, your EPK, and then save it. Yes, we want to replace it. All right. The effects have been moved over. But now we need it to show up in game. So what we do is we go back to our BAC with our added entry, go to effect, and these IDs right here, we need to change to the new ID numbers. So 0 being 5, 1 being 6, and 2 being 7. 5, 6. Next up is sound. So we want to go out of our skill folder and into our jungle folder. And we want to click all the way till here. This is our sound folder. So we're going to open up this one, our main one. Go to our Super Saiyan Blue Evolved jungle. Open up this one. So we have our two things right here. Once again, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to copy, paste. So now it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Going to save it. You can also do save as, just in case it's the wrong one. But I'm not going to because I know that one's right. Now what we want to do is we want to go to our sound in our new entry. Go to skill sound effects. Those are the entries you want to change. Character vox and all that, you don't change those. Simply skill sound effects. So now that we have our new IDs, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, we want to change that in here. So this being 6, this being 8, this being 9, this being 10. Right? Right. Alright. Now we have our sound. Now this part is done. So what we're going to do is we're going to click save, click on our BAC of our form, and we're going to save it. Boom. Just like that. Easy peasy. Now we want to go back to our skill, and we want to go to our BCM. Now this is what actually allows you to transform. So as you can see, there's multiple different entries, right? So entry 2 is using BAC entry 3, and for the airborne using 4, which are, guess what, our D transformation numbers. So we know that entry 2 is our D transformation. So I'm going to add a comment and say D transform. Alright. Editing Rabuda here. Just wanted to give a quick comment on this before y'all continue, that the entries for the BCM are used from what is in the BAC to the left of the names. So hopefully that will be helpful. Boom. We know that. This entry is 0. Super Saiyan Blue. I'll add that there. Now what we want to do is we want to click copy. I'm just going to copy this one because sometimes there's a bug that won't allow you to add entries. So that's just good to add. And then we want to click append. Boom. And I'm going to name this one Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. Now our Super Saiyan Blue Evolved entry is 1. So I'm going to put 1 for our BAC entry. Now let's go to our inputs. As you can see, they're both just the button. So all you have to do is click and then click. This is set to transform from your base form. As you can see, both of these are set to base form. Now, if you wanted to make it set from, let's say I wanted to go Super Saiyan Blue and then have to go Super Saiyan Blue Evolved, what you'd want to do is you'd want to unselect this and select Transformed. This allows you to transform after Super Saiyan Blue so that it doesn't mix with your already previous form. Now, let's say I wanted to be able to go into Super Saiyan Blue Evolved from base form, but also be able to go Super Saiyan Blue. Well, now you can add directional inputs. So let's say, I want to be able to go up. So if I flick the stick up while transforming, I'll go Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. But I can still go Super Saiyan Blue by just clicking the button. And of course you can change this to whatever you want. Right, left. If you add more, you can have a line that's going all right, all left, whatever you want, right? But I'm just going to set this to transform. Now let's say you want both. Let's say you're like, well, Rabuda, I want to be able to go Super Saiyan Blue and then go Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. But I also want to go Super Saiyan Blue Evolved from base form. Well, my friend, I have the answer for you. We're going to make another entry we're going to copy our old entry. Boom. So now we have another Super Saiyan Blue evolved above our Super Saiyan Blue. Now we can set this one to a direction. Let's say down for whatever we want. And we let it be base form. Now, if we wanted to, if we flick the stick down, we can go straight to Super Saiyan Blue evolved. But we can also go Super Saiyan Blue evolved after we go Super Saiyan Blue. Because we have this entry. Alright, now for the final part. When you're making a transformation, you need to make sure that you have your stage numbers correct. Now, let's say I had another form on top of this, but we'll just use this for it. Super Saiyan Blue, your first transformation is always 0. No matter what. Let's say this was Super Saiyan. 0. Super Saiyan 2. You always add 1 to your number. So let's say there was Super Saiyan Blue evolved, and then let's say there was Rose. This one would be 1, and then your next entry would be 2. Every form you add, you increase this number. Alright. Now that we have this, these are all the... Let's say you wanted it to take... Like, let's say you needed 1 bar of stamina to use it. You'd want to set to 100. Everything is in increments of 100 with Xenoverse. So, like, this is... It costs 5 ki. You need 5 ki to go Super Saiyan Blue evolved. Let's say I wanted to take 10 stamina. Boom. I can do that. Now, what I could do is, let's say I wanted to take away 5 ki. That's what the cost is. I could also set a health requirement. I have to be a certain amount of health to be able to transform into it. A lot of people have done that with Ultra Instinct, needing to be low health. I won't really do that because I don't think it's necessary with these transformations, but it's whatever. So now that we have this, we're going to save it to our BCM, right? Now we're going to open up our skill creator. Boom. We have our skill creator. Let's go to our Super Saiyan Blue. Boom. I'm going to name it Super Saiyan Blue plus Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. Then obviously Abyss Walker made these, but I'm going to add my name because I merged them. And I'm going to add a new code so that it doesn't overlap with Super Saiyan Blue, because that can cause issues with loading in. Let's say you didn't change it, and then you had another character with just Super Saiyan Blue, then it would break this skill, or break the other skill. Alright, now we go to Files, and we want to select our files that we added all of our stuff in. So the new sound, the new that, boom, done. Obviously, skill goes in the skill folder, and then additional data is your jungle folder. Alright, the CUS. So I'm going to tell you about 3 things here. The first is your part set. The second is your sound name. And the third is your number of transformations. Obviously, we have another transformation, so I'm going to set that to 2, because we have Super Saiyan Blue Evolved and Super Saiyan Blue. Now, let's say I wanted to rename my sound, because it's merged. I would want to find the name of that sound in our jungle. So, like, it's named this. Let's say I name it to Super Saiyan Blue Sound, right? Now, what I need to do is I need to copy that name and paste it in here so that the skill recognizes what sound it's using. Alright? Now the stuff up here is for what like races you want to use your transformation. So like you have your humans, your Saiyans, Namekian, Frieza, and your Majins. Obviously, I'm just going to keep it to Saiyans because it's Super Saiyan Blue. This is for finding it in the shop for CAC. Once again, you have that. Usually, I just click Kamehameha from game, and that works. And you can find it in your shop easy peasy. But this isn't really important if you're using it for like an X2M. Alright, now this is where you can put your stats. So obviously you can put in custom Super Souls. Let's say I had a custom Super Soul ID of 1,000. I could put that in there. Put in Blue Kaioken. Really, whatever you want, right? And you can put in two. Let's say I want Blue Kaioken and then my custom Super Soul. I could do that. Now, you can also set stats. So let's say in Super Saiyan Blue, I wanted to increase my health cap to whatever 1 is. 1 is pretty low, but depending on whatever your stats are, it may increase or decrease it. I usually keep it at 0. You want this set at 1. The only things that you want to change is your health, ki recovery, stamina recovery, and then these stats here. Your speed, your damage, and your damage nullification. The rest over here, you don't really want to mess with because it might break stuff. So let's say I wanted to get max ki in Super Saiyan Blue. Boom, I put 2. Max stamina. Boom. Let's say I wanted crazy damage for my ki attacks. I would do that. Let's say I wanted to be invincible. I would just do that. With your defense, negative numbers equals more defense. Positive numbers equals less defense. So like, let's say I wanted to take way more damage. I would put a 2, which is a lot. Typically, you want to stay within 1 to -1 for your range to stay close to base game stats. So I'll just keep this at -0.1. Now, this is your speed. I'm going to put this really high just to show off what it does. I'll put it all at 2. Boom. This is done. For Super Saiyan Blue. Now, we add another entry. This is for Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Let's say I want to be even faster. Boom. 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 Done. And if I wanted to add more damage, I could, but I'm not going to. Now, this is your auras, your portraits, your stances, DYTs, all types of stuff. I'm not going to go super into depth, but I will show you the basics. So you have your regular IDs, but if you use custom auras, like let's say like Crescent's aura pack, or I mean any aura pack really, you want to use your custom one. I don't need to because the skills are already made. And I'm not gonna change anything here. This is just Super Saiyan Blue. So I will add an entry. Now I want Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Aura. I'm gonna go to either I can go to Vegeta or I'm gonna go to Super Saiyan Blue Evolution skill. I'm gonna scroll down here. Where is Super Saiyan Blue Evolution? Here it is. Boom. Now it gave me an ID. Right? Alright, now here, this is where you can change your stances if you want to. I typically don't do this. This is somewhat useless. I wouldn't even touch this. As well as this, your BH13. This is where you do portraits, if you did custom portraits. Typically, it's 0, 1. And then, going further, be like 1, 2. Like that. And then you keep going from there. But that's if you have portraits. Now, most of this stuff, force teleport, golden skin, all of this is not necessary. But hair colors for CAC, this is important. So I'm just going to use human. And let's do a darker color for the hair, along with the eyes. And just set it to that. So now for Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, which is our 1 entry, it has darker hair color and eye color. Of course you have this as well, but I don't really mess with this, at least for Saiyan stuff. There might be a reason to use that for, let's say, like Namekians and stuff, but for Saiyans, you don't really need to mess with the stuff down here. And then this, again, you really don't need unless you're, like, wanting specific things for CACs. Like, let's say you wanted to pick up, like, a specific hair type for Super Saiyan Blues. Then I'd have to add that in here, but I'm not going to. Just gonna make this easy peasy. And now I'm going to save it. I'm gonna call this Super Saiyan Blue plus Evolve. Boom. Now let's go to install it. Yeah. Alright, before I end the video, I'm gonna just get a clean cut, because I'm probably gonna edit all of that. Got my Super Saiyan Blue transformation and Super Saiyan Blue Evolve. So, as you can see, health is going down, my ki and stamina, and I transform after. And I can go from base form by flicking it down while transforming. Now, what did I forget to mention? Is you want your detransformation at the bottom because it goes in order. So I had detransformation and then Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. So it was reading detransformation first. Alright, so keep that. Remember that. You want detransformation at the bottom. Another thing is, that's the wrong entry, is with your effects, you don't want your effects to be, you want it to not use the skill ID. So I changed it to skill just because. I could have kept it at Awoken. But you want all this to say no. Because then it'll use what's in here and not what your old line used to have, which didn't have the new effects. So those were just 2 quick things I had to fix. But once you have that, then you got a working transformation right here. That's how you do a multi-stage transformation line. Oops, I'm double recording.